What is going on, guys? My name is AJ3FIFA and welcome to the second episode of FIFA 13 or FIFA 12.1. Before I get into this, I just wanted to apologise. I did say I'd be uploading daily. I didn't have a video up yesterday as I had a problem with Sony Vegas, so my trial ran out with that, but it's all been sorted out legitimately. So I'm back making videos and I should hopefully have a video up each day again. So, FIFA 13 or FIFA 12.1. Last time we started my FIFA journey with pro clubs. After pro clubs, I moved on to Ultimate Team. So today we're going to talk about Ultimate Team. Now, I absolutely love Ultimate Team and it's my favourite part of FIFA. However, it can be improved. Even though it is extremely good, it could be made better. And I hope they do it. I hope they do it in FIFA 13. Just so it spices it up a bit, gives us a bit of change and keeps us interested. Now, my pet hate in FIFA Ultimate Team is auction searching. Why they can't make the auction searches stricter is beyond me. So for example here, Spanish centre-back, Liga BBVA, FC Barcelona. As strict as you can get, yet two players come up, Piqué and Puyol. And it's just so frustrating trying to search for a decent deal on one of these players, especially when it's the higher rated one, Piqué, because you can't put in a maximum search to pick up a cheap Piqué, because the market's just flooded with Puyols. Now, they are easy to differentiate, one's 86 and one's 88. However, if you put this in, Argentinian striker Man City, 86 Aguero, 88 Tevez, they're easy to tell the difference between. But if you go looking for the up to Aguero who's 88, it's a pain in the arse trying to tell the difference between 88 Aguero and 88 Tevez. It's an absolute nightmare trying to search for Aguero, because when you put a max price in to get a decent deal on him, all you get is Tevez's. Another time it's an absolute nightmare is searching for consumable cards, especially formations. Everyone has a different formation and everyone wants a different formation card. For example, if I was searching for a 4-4-1-1, a 4-4-1-1 card, I'd have to flick through millions and millions of pages of 4-4-2, 4-3-1-2, 5-2-2-1, all these formations just to look for the 4-4-1-1. Why can't they just put it in so that I can search strictly for 4-4-1-1 cards and pick one up? The same applies to positioning cards, especially the rare ones. There's not many centre attack and mid to centre mid cards, but there's an absolute shit ton of centre attack and mid to centre forward cards. So even when you know that it starts with CAM, you have to flick through every single card and look for the one that's the centre mid, when 99% of them it's a centre forward, and it drives me mad trying to change a player. Should just be able to search for a specific card and not have such a general search. Speaking of positioning cards, this brings me on to my next point, player positions. Using positioning cards, you can turn a striker into a centre defensive mid and be able to play it centre back with orange chemistry. However, how many strikers do you know that could actually play decent at centre back? When, if you're playing right wing, he gets red chemistry. There's a massively higher proportion of strikers that could play on the wing and do better than they could at centre back. It works the other way around as well. Wingers have played better at striker than they would at right back. Take David Villa for example. He plays left wing for Barcelona, however he always plays up front for Spain. But on Ultimate Team, you could turn him into a left back, or you could turn him into a left mid and you get orange at left back. However, if you played him as a striker, which is one of his secondary positions, you would get red chemistry. For me, this defies all logic, and I think they should just scrap the position changing cards altogether. What they should do is have secondary positions like they do in head-to-head or kick-off mode or something like that. When you click on a player's bio, it says, and even if you're going in-game in Ultimate Team, for example, for David Villa, it'll say he's a left wing, but then it'll have secondary positions of a striker or a right wing or a left mid. Why they can't just do this on Ultimate Team as well, and instead of messing about with all the positions, they should just have secondary positions for each player, which they can get orange chemistry at too. This would make the game a lot more realistic, as you could play players in roles that they play in real life and do well, and wouldn't be able to play them in stupidly ridiculous positions that they'd never play in their life. This also brings me on to my next point. If this was to happen, more detailed player info would be needed, instead of just the basic height, age, nationality, and then the on-card stats. When you click on a player, it should tell them at least what skill moves and what weak foot they've got. So I don't want to have to go searching on the internet when I'm trying to make a 4 or 5 star skill team. And if this is brought in where the player position cards are taken out and they're just given secondary positions, the secondary positions would also need to be shown. When you're trying to bid on a player, you should be able to click on the right stick and see where his secondary positions are. Now, being able to play all the players in the different roles that they do play in real life but are unable to play in an Ultimate Team would create a lot higher variety of teams. Another way to create a lot more variety of teams would be more formations. Now, I know it's not practical to be able to make custom formations on Ultimate Team, what with all the chemistry links that have to go between the players. However, EA could make a lot more variety of formations. If you go in the formation settings when you're playing a kickoff game, there's millions of variations to each formation. However, in Ultimate Team, there's only the bog standard ones, so why can't they put all the different variations into Ultimate Team so that we can use them as well? Finally, my last point is overpowered players and the debate about whether there's a handicap. Now, there's a lot of players on Ultimate Team that are very, very, very overpowered. David Luiz and Gabby Agbonlahor, to name just a few of them. Now, these players cost absolutely nothing and are some of the best players on the game. Especially David Luiz, he's arguably the best centre-back and he costs about 2 or 3 grand. And I think this is absolutely ridiculous. People work so hard to be able to afford really, really good centre-backs like second in form, Sergio Ramos, and Team of the Year, Thiago Silva. Not David Silva, he's a fucking centre mid. But that applies as well. Modric is just as good as Team of the Season, David Silva. People spend millions of coins on these teams, and then someone goes and pays 2 grand for a player and he's just as good, which I think is totally, totally unfair. As to the handicap, I think if people are spending so much money on these teams, then it should be easier for them to win. They've put a lot more time and effort into it and have got a much better team, and handicap shouldn't take their team down to make the game fair. It's not their fault that the other person's got a considerably shitter team. And I know it's not always possible to do everything perfectly, so obviously in FIFA 13 there is going to be some overpowered players. However, when they realise that they're overpowered, they should reduce the card weight so there's not millions of them on the market. So if David Luiz, if he had the same card weight as PK, he'd be 20 grand instead, and every noob with a stupidly fast Premier League team wouldn't be able to afford him. It'd just make the game a lot better. As to Gabby Agbonlahor, I hope he gets made into a silver, just so he's worth about 60 grand and all the noobs who just want to sprint and smash the ball can't use him. If EA introduce some, if not all of these things, I think FIFA 13 will be very good and I'll be just as entertained by Ultimate Team as I was with this one. However, if they keep it the same, then it's just going to be FIFA 12 with some transferred players and some new kits. Anyway guys, thanks for listening to me rant on. I've been AJ3FIFA. Subscribe, stay tuned. Do be sure to go and follow me on Twitter. The link will be in the description and I'll see you next time.